Colleges try to say that the issue of consent is a legal one, but they don't mention words such as assault. Okay, that means that things such as aliasing are not allowed. I'm going. Doesn't mean a problem. I'm not going to even mention there. But the thing is, I'm just going to start studying this compendium here. Because of course it's a very problematic, mostly because it probably is alias. Because I said before, you can't use alias as anything that might result in a legal action. The thing is, a police arrest again is a legal action, and there might be a problem when people are confused. To see anything, police respond to assault, not the words "I love you." So anyway, let's see what. Let's see. Please. Okay, the first one. When they only want to speak it, so I'm going to speak it here. You can use a check-in language that's comfortable and realistic for you. What is that? This looks like they're trying to remove. Here's a problem here. Here's the thing. They need to be brave enough to say that you can't run a law with relationships. But that's not what they say. They're trying to say that there needs to be a law that determines what is comfortable for individuals, and then it needs to be a legal impetus that enforces that. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and start to implement that. Seriously. I'm actually going to start to implement a system that does this, and we'll see how much people actually like it. First, we need to define comfortable. The problem is, first you need to determine whether or not people are willing to speak on the issue. If they're not willing to speak on the issue, eggshells mentality must be enforced. Y'all have a problem here. But go ahead and do this anyway and see where it goes. So basically, we now will have a thing where everybody has an interaction profile, but those who are too scared to be aware they have a profile cannot see their own profile. It also is now a crime to violate revealing a profile, and that means we have to have a robot police. So now we need robot police. That's going to be the first thing. See, at that point, you need to stop. Seriously. The whole issue of consent is moved out of court here. Now, there's some people who have tried to solve this a different way, please. By saying that people should know everything that's about to happen. Okay? I'll go down that route and see how much people like that one. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to be talking about a new, maybe theoretical, possibly real video game. So there's a continuum of people, to please lie about reality, to where you have at one end of the continuum people who have never seen a video game before, and at the other end of the continuum are people who play video games every day and also constantly are experiencing new game experiences. So I'm going to go ahead and make a list of 8 things. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to estimate how each of these 8 groups will react to some coming disclosures. Everybody can listen to their specific thing to determine how to prepare their mind to find out that, reality is progressing. So there will be 8 playlists. People should use the appropriate playlist for how they want to receive information about a video game. Here's a problem I've noticed. Is the idea that it's permissible for putting in the limiters at resolving please. An attractive woman to order people to control successful men please who do not conform to the please to a specific ideal, because that's what it always is, because there's here's the thing. We're not gonna be telling that any attractive woman actually invent the idea that please they need to uniquely seek out sex through elimination of all reality, please. The problem is that some women think that they don't do this, society will reject them. And if it actually does, that's a problem. The problem, therefore, is anybody who would reject a woman if she doesn't run a stupidity case against a man. Yes, I just demonstrated this is all masterminded by some very rotten people. There are some very rotten people who like to create structures like this in society. The problem really mostly probably comes from years and years of distribution of really sour types of methamphetamine, but probably mostly heroin. The problem really comes when important people, mostly in the music industry, become addicted to heroin, and there simply is not enough intelligence in the industry to replace that. The problem is solved by finding, basically, we need to determine which bosses, please, are acting in a way that suggests that they're addicted to heroin, and then look for ways to replace it with sane, please. So, first thing I'm going to go is look at please. I'm going to see what the what's at the top of the please YouTube charts right now. We seem to be having a problem that looks like a lot of this may be them attempting to comply with treatment. That's what this looks like. This looks like a lot of them attempting to comply with treatment. But, whoever doctors are, that's not the problem. This is a problem that's solved by correct management, please. So basically, I'm going to the first thing is identify who actually is calling the shots, please. And someone said the actual problem now is AI. Because they recently tried to solve the problem. They basically said it so that AI makes these decisions. However, the problem is that there are a few people who are scared not put a whole bunch of psychology crap in the AI. So what we're going to need to do is basically find out who is responsible, please, for defining what data sets these AI use. And I'll find a way to put them out of business, please. Or replacing it with a sane AI. And frankly, a correct AI for this doesn't work on paper, please. Of course, what everybody actually wants is, please, a populace where the people actually decide what music is wanted. So the way to do that simply is just with a crazy promotion, please, of stuff that people are actually asking for. And the first place to go is what might be like skills artists. People actually know. Let's start with the guitar. Let's find some people who actually know how to play guitar and see what they say about musical styles. Really, the best thing to do is probably a rebirth of the stuff that was started in the 90s and just was halted in the 2000s, whatever. I'm going to let's just start with pulling out some of those old interviews and see what they have to say, please.
Still won the hearts of one of the most loyal followings in rock.
Finding old sound effects tapes and stuff, I thought, well, that would be, if we could do it, we would give it a try. And we found all the bits we needed, or made some new bits, and put it together. It's it's quite a sort of emotional moment the first time
sure,
we did it.
Yeah. And how does it feel now, 20 years later? I mean, obviously, it's virtually a different band performing it. You've got different musicians. Obviously, the technology's changed almost out of recognition. How does this compare to the original?
It's very hard to tell, to be honest with you. I can't remember that well. I mean, I've listened to a couple of bootlegs, and we are, in terms of pure sort of music and professionalism, it's sort of light years ahead of what we ever did. In those days, we had the girls singers.
Yeah, that string sound works. Yeah, we had a manual. Yeah, we're gonna buy a manual. Yeah, where's the music store? At the so-called music store back in the late 90s was different from that stuff today. People such as those professional artists could generally walk into those stores, any of them, provided it was not extremely busy, and they could either observe or, seriously. What observing was he entered the store, walked past some guitars, probably walked past some plays, and throw the candy thing. He grabbed the candy and left. Seriously, that's what observing was. Observing was in and out, meaning he just would have probably just gone around the perimeter and left. That not causing any problem at all, and no one would care because a lot of people would have done that. Yeah, because what do you want to know? Mostly how much the stuff costs. One thing that wouldn't happen there is him thinking he's going to talk to some store person. Those people will be smart enough to actually go to professional providers. Here's a problem. I was told that this is not applicable anymore, but I was told that back then, usually you could go into the back area of like a 70s disco, which were a lot of them back in the 90s. You actually go into like the 70s disco, and then the thing is, I was just told now that way people actually go into the back and say hey, and then they actually talk about equipment and stuff. And then here's the thing, well, not then the next day, after $5,000, please, and then there's a thing there like, okay, here you go, man, is everything you need. Yeah, Mr. Floyd. Yeah, on some tapes. I got the big thing. Yeah, I have the big thing of tapes. I don't want it. Seriously. So the thing is, what made people such as Mr. Floyd different from others? Well, the big one was they avoided two groups. One is all the scum, which was them. All the scum who wouldn't stop listening to, please, Nirvana, followed by Cranberries. Yeah, and thinking that they're the same because they both came cool guitars. And yeah, well, it came after that. Please, drug use.